doesn't take that much from me to understand where I'm not resourced now. That's become over many years a daily, an automatic thing now. Like, oh, where am I not resourced? What's going on? And so my body's doing that on its own, and I never thought that I would have that, like it was a new thing when I first started it. But what I'm aware of is so the pace of some of our podcasts, and there's like the get the information out and share the strategy, and they're very upbeat and tempo-y, and the strategy and the breakdown and da. And then there are conversations to balance us, like this one, which are they can seem, well, they are a different tempo and a different energy and essence, but actually the balance of all of it is so important. Because for me, I can't speak for you, Alia, but for me, it kind of is still a brave act. I'm going to say it's still a brave act for me to say, let's slow down. Let's take our time. That is years and years, decades worth of work in personal practice to be able to be in a room, even when others are have brilliant ideas and genius frameworks and like a go-to, say, and what about the other voices? And can we just take a moment or a few? Because for me, what is the point in delivering on a campaign if we haven't enjoyed it? And all hands on deck type of like that camaraderie and the real joy of being in cooperation with one another. Like I didn't know that is what I was looking for. That was just completely so absent from my life for all of my life and career until I hit, that burnout, rock bottom, whatever you want to call it, over a decade ago, where it was like, oh, and somebody did pose the questions that you did, like, oh, so if you get to another seven figures, what then? And all I really wanted was I wanted to be a philanthropist. And then I realized in this lovely inquiry, oh, you really don't need to be, you could just be like philanthropical your whole life. And you don't have to like go and earn the money first. There was just all these weird messages about needing to be wealthy first, like material wealth. So I kind of just shortcut it and went, well, I'm just going to be philanthropical then while I go about some other things. And that's made my life like really worth living. And it's like authentically successful, which makes me want to do more and be more creative and just have the joy of being in a project because, well, look what could be created, but we're having fun anyway. And I think that is so counterintuitive, but it's kind of like, oh, we'll just put that in a bottle. Let's try and sell that. But it's have quite a bit of competition. It's just so interesting, the pace and what we're pushing for. And that's great. I'm all for it, but just have counter ways of doing things, so we do have choices, and we can see other ways, so we can kind of soothe and smooth things as we go. I think it's just a really lovely, it's a nicer way to live for sure.
That something's occurring to me about that soothing and smoothing concept that you just shared, Kelly, because I feel as though sometimes we can be have a tendency to go to either one extreme or the other. So think about all or nothing. We're either on it and all full steam ahead, or we're sitting back and relaxing. And it's not. I think often it's that space in the middle that doesn't get explored. So the soothing and smoothing, the way you brought it in, it felt as though it's like these little micro moments in a day where we pause to notice how we're feeling and how we're doing, and what might I tweak here? What might I need to do to notice how my nervous system is right now and do something about that, compensate for that. And I think sometimes if we contemplate that actually we can still be really ambitious and achieve incredible things, it's not about holding our businesses back. We can still grow and really flourish and do well, but that will be supported all the more if along the way, A, the journey is enjoyed, but B, the journey is like one of those dynamos on a bike where it's sort of self-charging, like generating as we go. And it will do that if we build in those pauses, those micro moments to like you've just so beautifully sort of said, just like notice, and ask questions and pause enough to figure out, have we actually captured what the person really meant with that thing, or that bit we're about to move forward to? Have we definitely thought about all the options here before we press on ahead? That sort of thing. Um, yeah, I felt just to emphasize that, because I think that's the bit that makes it more conceivable of, for somebody who's feeling like they don't have the space to sit back. Well, maybe you don't have the hour a day to sit back, but maybe you can find 5 minutes every hour, or even just a minute, a minute to breathe or to pause. Start with that and then see, does that make a difference? And if it does, build in a few more of those.